All right, so today we're going to be working on reading fluently. Do you remember what it means to read fluently? You heard me say it or heard anyone say that before? Yeah? Okay, fluently means that you kind of read with expression and you read like you're talking instead of reading like a robot. Okay? So, do you know how a robot reads? A robot reads like this. Okay? So instead of reading like that, we're going to read like we're talking. So I'm going to teach you something called swooping today. Can you say swooping? Can you say swooping? Can you say
Swooping.
Yeah. What does swooping sound like? Sounds like something like a bird does, right? Like he swoops down. Okay. When we swoop when we're reading, no, it's fine. When we swoop when we're reading, that means that we group our words together. So swooping would sound something like this. If I put my sentence together, it would sound like this. One of my sisters took my scarf. Did you see what I did with my finger? What did I do? Kind of swooped it down and I grouped all of these words together, and then I took a kind of a small little bitty pause and then I grouped all of these words together. So one of my sisters took my scarf. Let's put it together a little faster. One of my sisters took my scarf. Does that sound better? Okay, do you want to try that one? Can you try it? You put your finger here. Okay, swoop it.
One of my sisters took my scarf.
Perfect. Good job. So that's called swooping. So when we read our book in just a minute, you're going to be able to swoop your sentences, swoop your words together so it sounds like you're reading more fluently instead of reading like a robot. Okay? All right, so I'm going to get you to practice for me. I'm going to mix up these sentences. These are the beginnings of the sentences, and these are the ends of sentences. Okay? So do you think you could make some matches for some sentences that would make sense? And then we're going to practice swooping our sentences together. Can you read this one?
The little boy
Okay, you even swooped. I saw you. Good job. So what would go with the little boy?
loves to play with toys.
That kind of goes together, doesn't it? Yeah, we could put that. You want to put that one together? Okay, so that's a sentence that we have together. Now, what's the next one?
Two red birds.
Good job. Okay, so we've got two. Do you know what this word is? Stared.
Stared into the window.
Okay, or
Likes to drink milk.
which one do you think two red birds would do? Yeah, birds are going to stare into the window. Good. So we made that one. And then what is this one that we have left?
My still gray cat likes to drink milk.
And that would make sense to say my still gray cat likes to drink milk. But look back at this word right here. Is there a st at the beginning?
Silly.
Silly. Good.
Silly.
That's silly. Good. All right. Now, let's pick a sentence. Which sentence do you want to practice swooping first? My silly gray cat? Okay, so I'm gonna show you one time, okay? Then I want you to swoop it. My silly gray cat likes to drink milk. Can you try it?
My silly gray cat likes to drink milk.
Perfect. You're really good at that. Now this one, I want you to do by yourself. Can you do this one by yourself?
Two red birds stared into the window.
Good. And I like how you remembered what that word said. You're a really good swooper. It sounds really good when you put those words together, doesn't it? Good. And the last one.
The little boy loves to play with toys.
Awesome. All right. All right. So I have a book for us to read today. And I brought Emery's iPad for us to use one of the books on her iPad. Do you have books on your iPad? Do you put books on there?
I kinda, but I never do it.
You never do? Well, I want to show you something. Do you see this little icon right here that says iBooks? That's where you can get them. And Emery has a couple of books that we've put on here. Most of them are free that we've been able to download, so she can watch books like those two. This is a story about like princesses, and then this is some other books that she reads sometimes too. So you can always go, make sure your mommy helps you, but you can always use your iPad to go pick out some books. And I bought this book just last night for us to read. Okay, so it's really neat because it's like you're playing a game on your iPad, but it's just a book instead.
So it's not too long?
No, it's not too long. Do you see? It shows you the pages right there. Now, when we talked a couple weeks ago, you told me that you really like animals, don't you? Yeah, you really like animals. And I know that you've watched this movie because we watched it several times here at the house with Emery, haven't you? And in the car ride when we've been going on trips. Where'd we go a couple weeks ago together?
Pigeon Forge?
Pigeon Forge. Did we watch it on our way to Pigeon Forge?
No.
Okay. Well, I know you've seen it a couple of times because we've talked about it, right? So I thought this would be a really good book for us to read, and it's really cool that you can read it on your iPad because you've also told me that you really like to play on your iPad, right? Yeah. Sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes it gets boring.
Sometimes it gets boring. Well, if you get bored with your games, you can always ask Mom to put you some books on here. Okay. So, do you know what it says?
Zootopia.
Zootopia. And right here, it's all about the animals that are in the book, in the movie Zootopia. So this is going to give us a little bit more information about the animals. I'm going to go through real fast. We're not going to read it first. We're going to talk about the characters of the book. Okay? So you know most of them because you've seen the movie. Do you remember her name?
Hops.
And they call her Judy Hopps. Do you see that word, Judy Hopps? Okay. All right, and there she is again. She's a pretty good one. Do you remember his name?
Nick Wilde.
Nick Wilde. And you see right there, Nick Wilde. He has a friend. Do you remember his little friend's name? Finnick. Finnick is his name. And he's a Finnick fox. So I didn't even know that there were different types of foxes, but he's a type of a fox. That's why his name is Finnick. Do you know her name? I didn't remember her. Frou Frou. And her dad?
Mr. Big.
Mr. Big. Yeah, I think he's funny. And then, of course, this is my daughter Emery's favorite. Flash. Flash. Do you like Flash too?
He's funny.
He is funny. Okay. Ooh, do you remember him?
Mr.
Manchus?
Manchus.
Mr. Manchus. I don't remember too much of him. I think he was one of the savage.
He was.
Do you know his name? Chief Bogo is his name. Chief Bogo. He looks kind of mean, but he's actually pretty good. And then there is Bellwether. Bellwether is the assistant. And do you remember from the movie? She was also the bad guy, wasn't she? Yep. So there's Bellwether. And then let's see, who else do we have? Oh, there's one more. Mayor Lionheart. Mayor Lionheart. Okay. Who is your favorite character?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Probably had to say,
Nick. He's funny, isn't he? I really liked it when he was trying to sell the
yeah.
popsicles
Yeah.
and Officer Hops was
Your dog's in the video.
I know, it's okay. We might have to take him away in just a minute. I really liked it when Officer Hops got him in trouble. All right, I'm gonna let you flip through the book. Just kind of do a little picture walk and look at the pictures, and I'm gonna take Bo outside of the room.
Aww.
All right, and to get back to the beginning, we just Click. Yep, there you go. You are a pro at this. All right, so Zootopia Super Animals. I want you to read through it. And I'll help you through with some words if there's a word that we don't know. But what I want you to really make sure that we're doing, it's not necessarily getting the words right that we're working on today. We're working on making sure that we're swooping and putting our words together so that we read fluently and not like a robot. So one of my sisters likes to drink milk. Okay, I made a silly sentence, didn't I? Okay. All right. Put it in front of you. Ready?
Judy Hopps is a bunny.
Good job. I heard how you were trying to put those words together. So if you know this was bunny, let's look at that word.
Bunnies have great eye.
We got eyesight. Good job.
eyesight. Judy sees the city of Zootopia all around her.
Good job. Good job putting those words together.
Judy hears the smallest sounds. This helps her do her job.
Good job.
I kept trying to go clear. Judy is has strong legs. She can run fast and jumps high. Her legs help her catch criminals.
Good job.
Nick Wilde is a fox. Foxes run fast. Nick has a friend named
Finnick.
Finnick is a finnick fox. Finnick foxes have big ears. Their ears help keep the cool.
Does that make okay? Let's practice right here. Let's practice. The beginning of the sentence. We're just going to use their ears, and I want you to swoop those together. Their ears help keep them cool.
Help keep them cool.
Will you practice that one?
Their ears help them keep them cool.
Awesome. Good job. That sounded really good. All right, keep going.
Fur is the
Good job getting this beginning sound. So you got the shrew. Good job.
Shoes have a great
Sense.
sense of smell and
Get the beginning sound.
style.
Style. Do you know what style means? It means how you dress. So if I said you have a great sense of style, that means you dress really well. Okay.
Mr. Big is Frou-Frou's dad. He has good hearing, but sometimes he does not listen.
Good. I could really tell that you were trying to keep those words together when you were reading and not sounding like a robot. That sounded really good, Kiwi.
Flash the sloth to save.
Let's try that first sentence again.
Flash is a sloth to
To save. Yeah, that right.
energy. Sloths move very, very slow. Mr.
Manchus.
Manchus. He is a jaguar. Jaguars have very sharp teeth of
That's not making sense, is it?
Mm-mm.
So we might need to try it again. Start back at the beginning of that sentence. Jaguars
Have very sharp teeth for splitting.
Let's look at the word. Let's get that beginning part. What's the next letter? You've got the ing, so we were just working on the middle. Sharp teeth for what? What is he doing in that picture? What makes sense? Jaguars have very sharp teeth for smiling. Good job. See, sometimes we can use the picture to help us, and sometimes we can just think about, hey, what makes sense? What word would make sense when I'm reading this? Yeah, that's silly. Oops.
Chef Bogo is a coat
Okay, now look at that letter. That's an A. Good job.
buffalo. Cape buffaloes are very strong. Bogo is
Judy's.
Judy's boss. Bellwether is a sheep. Sheep have excellent
Can you say that beginning part out loud because you're on the right track? Memories. Good
memories.
job.
But Bellwether uses her memory to help Nick and Judy solve a case.
Good job.
Nick has great night vision.
Okay. And I know you were trying to solve some of those words. Now that you know those words, let's go back and put those words together. Nick has great night vision. Can you try that one?
Nick has great night vision.
That sounded really good.
He
Good.
can see in the dark. Night vision helps Nick escape from dark places. He shows Judy which way to go.
Mayor.
Mayor
Lionheart.
Lionheart is a lion. Lions have loud roars. They can be heard across Utopia. A lion grows a big mane
Good.
when he becomes a leader.
I love how you recognized you're like, oh, I want to put those words together. So I saw you kind of going back and trying to swoop those words together. Good job. Let's think for just a minute about this right here. It says a lion grows a big mane when he becomes a leader. What do you think that means about Chief Lionheart? Does he have a big mane? Okay, so what would he be?
He would be the leader.
And this is kind of, yeah, for what?
Officers.
Yeah, and for Zootopia, right? He's the leader, he's the mayor. So a mayor is the leader of a city, so he's the leader. And we know that because he has a big mane, and some of the words was trying to tell us that. Good.
All the animals in Zootopia are super.
Do you think they're all super? Was that a good book? Yes, it was very fun. Now, I'm gonna give you some homework, okay?
Aw.
Your homework is, have you been reading this summer? Some of the books that we've
I
looked
have
at
a
at the
chapter
library?
book
Awesome.
that I'm gonna read.
You're reading? Yeah. Well, I want you, when you're reading and when you go back to school in a few weeks, always remember, I want you to kind of keep those words and swooping them together, okay? All right, to make it sound like, what do we not want to sound like?
Robot.
Yes. Yes, so tell my boys and girls at school that they can't sound like robots. And remember, if you get mommy to help you, but if you might find some more books, there's Barbie books, there's all sorts of books on
Wait,
Apple Books.
what does this do?
All right.